That's why they don't want their children mating with us, because the babies ain't gonna come out right.
Right.
The
Right.
babies are gonna tend toward the dark side. You
Yep.
know, you got blue eyes. Not if one of your parents had one gene for brown eyes. You got to have a donation from each parent with the
Hmm.
recessive blue eye gene in order to manifest blue eyes. If you
Right.
got a dominant brown eye gene and a blue eye gene, you will have brown eyes. You can have blue eyed children if you get with somebody that also has recessive, you know, blue eye traits. But the dominant trait always wins. It's gonna manifest over a recessive trait every time,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
every time. And
Yep.
but see how they flip the script and we buy into it because we let them educate our children.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
everybody's so beautiful if they got blonde hair and blue eyes. Well, I guess they have their peculiarities that make them attractive or whatever, but that's weakness.
Yep.
You're looking at a
Genetic
weakness.
weakness. It is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. So DNA, melanin, melanin, melanin being a transmitter of electricity, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and you can tell you can tell that whether or not a person's pineal gland is active or calcified by their complexion. Black people have an active pineal gland. It's what we call the third eye,
Hmm.
right? If your third eye is awake, I bet you know a bunch of people who have what we call clairvoyant experiences.
Hmm.
Where they think of something and next thing they know it's happening.
Yep.
They
That
think
happened
about
to me.
somebody, next thing they know that person calling them up.
Yep.
That's a function of melanin. You walk into the room and you say, "Oh, the vibe, the show is strange in here."
You can
You
feel
can
it
you can
when you.
feel it,
Yep.
and that's mediated by melanin. I had a I had a babysitter who was a pre med student at FSU. It's a girl from Jamaica.
Hmm.
And I asked her one day, I said, next time you're in the library, see what kind of information you can find me on melanin. She brought me a book back that was written by a zoologist, a guy who studied animals. And he had been studying reptiles
Hmm.
and looking at their pineal gland. He said the gland is it's in the top of the head, near the surface. It's easy to find. You can see it, you can cut it out, you can look at it, whatever you want to do. He said physiologically, it has a resemblance of an eye, like it's trying to be an eye.
Right.
He said, so he shined some light on it. Nothing. He said, but it did respond to just about every other frequency in the electromagnetic spectrum.
Hmm.
That's magnetism, radio wave, microwave, all of that stuff. The whole visible spectrum of colors and stuff. So we're walking around with a computer chip inside
Yep.
our head. We just
Yep.
don't know how to use it effectively.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, but that's a biological African retention.
Right.
Uh, yeah, man. Stuff was just rolling out of me the other day. I had to write it all down. Um, how about Anthony Browder?
Yep.
He's got two books of note. He's got a lot of books, but two that I'm especially fond of. One is called Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. One of
Yep.
the best books on the subject I've ever read. It's written at a high school level, so you don't got to be
Yes.
no rocket scientist to
That's how he
read this
writes.
book,
Yes.
right? But the other one is Egypt on the Potomac,
Oh yeah.
where he talks about all the things that were derived from from Egypt that are built into the ground plan of Washington D.C. Certain
Hmm.
buildings. Washington Monument is a dead giveaway. That's
Right.
that's that's obelisk, which is that's not a correct term either. The term is
The
Tekken.
Tekken. Yep.
Yeah, Tekan, right? But that represents a prosthetic phallic device that Offset had to
Yep.
manufacture
Yep.
so she could conceive after Sar was assassinated,
Yep.
because there was a prophecy that said their son would avenge his death, but they
Yep.
hadn't had a son yet. Sar had been murdered and dismembered, and the parts of his body had been scattered all over Egypt.
Right.
She cut him into 14 pieces. Egypt has 14 provinces, right? Thing that was missing was the phallus.
Mm-hmm.
So she had to make a prosthesis in order to conceive Horus or Heru. Uh, that's that's the stuff we're practicing on this side of the ocean is hand me down.
It is.
So this hand me down religion they stole our religion. Who got it first? The Greeks.
Yep.
When Cleopatra gave up Egypt to Mark Antony and them, when that happened, the Greeks stole the religion. They had already been
Yep.
saying that Egypt was the most advanced place on the planet. Herodotus said that.
Yep.
You want a good education, send your kids to Egypt. Them
Yep.
12 years where they say Jesus disappeared from age 12 to age 30 or whatever it was.
Where did he go?
He was part of that time he was in Egypt.
Right.
There's a book called the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ, and
Yep.
it talks about all the places he went when he disappeared from Israel during that period of time.
Right.
Yeah, but the Greeks got it. What happened to the Greeks? The Romans stole it from them. If you look at their
Mm-hmm.
pantheon, they're exactly the same characters. They just got
Changed
different names
names.
because of the
Yep.
languages are different,
Yep.
right? But if you look at the Kemetic pantheon, guess what?
Same thing.
It's them same people, So they filtered it, whitewashed it a
Yeah.
little bit, and then they forced it
I,
back on us in a corrupted form.
I tell them all the time, Thoth or Tahuti is the same person as Hermes, the same person as Mercury. It's the same. They stole it from us.
Right. Yeah. Well, we should say Mercury.
Yep.
Yeah, the messenger. He's the one. Yeah,
Yep.
the messenger.
Yep.
What's the name? Hathor.
Yep.
That's Oshun.
Yep.
That's Oshun in the Ephod tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's stuff. Are you familiar with the Osar Aset Society?
Not the society.
Headed by a brother named Ra-Un Nefer Amen.
No.
They're based in Atlanta.
Okay.
And this is before I ever met you. This is back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He came. We used to have an ASCAC chapter here, Association for the Study of Classical African Civilization.
Okay.
And we invited this brother here for a week to do a series of lectures, discussions and whatnot. And he stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was very interesting because this brother operates on another level.
Right.
He's from Panama,
Okay.
Central America, not Panama City, but the
Right.
country of Panama. And he's a piano virtuoso.
Mm.
And he was telling me that his piano teacher used to make him study the piano while he was not sitting at the piano. He had to be
Mm.
someplace else and process all this in his head instead of actually being able to
Right.
put his hands on the piano. You do all of that, then you come to the piano and sit down and play.
It's nothing.
But
Right.
he had this whole thing about music, about almost like what the Hindus do when they chant with Om and all of that. And he had a different key signature for each
Mm-hmm.
day. And on whatever day you would chant in whatever key signature that was. But yeah, that brother was deep. This still
Yeah.
is. But that's just another example of African spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
that's present here in the West.